Hey, this is Lunatic Gunstar, and today I'll be looking at Valkyrie no Bouken, Toki no Kagi Densetsu, or loosely translated, The Adventure of Valkyrie, Legend of the Key of Time. This game was released by Namco in 1986 for the Famicom, but was never released for the NES in North America or Europe. So, let's pop it in and check it out. So, when you start a new game, the first thing you'll see is this screen with Japanese text on it. It's asking for your zodiac sign, blood type, and favorite color. These choices actually affect how your stats grow, giving the game some light RPG-style character customization, although the color choice is purely cosmetic. Now, when the game starts up, the first thing you'll probably notice is that it happens to look a whole lot like Zelda, and, well, it is. It's got the same perspective, a pretty similar setting, a similar layout and sense of progression. You explore an overworld, find dungeons, and get important items from those dungeons that let you move forward. It's even got the same obnoxious beeping sound when you're about to die. And it gets annoying just as fast as it does in Zelda, trust me. The game does manage to set itself apart in a few ways. For one, the game does throw in some light RPG elements. You gain experience for each enemy you kill, and once you gain enough experience, you can go to an inn to level up. Which increases your stats, based on the answers you gave at the beginning of the game. You also learn magic spells as you level up, which can be pretty useful, although your MP is limited and there doesn't seem to be any way to actually tell how much MP you have left, which can be pretty frustrating. There's also a fairly interesting day-night cycle, which was way ahead of when the Zelda series would incorporate this with Ocarina of Time, and it's much better incorporated here than in something else like Simon's Quest. Speaking of Simon's Quest, well, I think this might actually be a game that's even more obtuse than that one. There are plenty of cases where what to do isn't readily apparent, and one in particular rivals the infamous kneel by the cliff section of Simon's Quest, where the tornado whisks you away. Here, you have to kill this big monster and then stand on this one slightly different colored patch of grass. And as long as you have a certain item in your inventory, and you stay on this patch of grass all night, when day breaks, you'll be whisked across this rainbow to a new area. There are no hints whatsoever given about this in-game, and it seems to be the only point in the whole game where the time of day is actually important to your progress. I don't know about you, but I never would have figured this out without a guide. We'll also have to spend quite a bit of time in this game grinding. It's an extremely difficult game, throwing huge groups of enemies at you constantly. Plus, the enemies continuously respawn, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed, especially by enemies with projectile attacks. The dungeons in particular are quite tough, and many of them also feature invisible traps which can drain your health pretty fast as well. Not only that, but occasionally grinding is required to progress, as you will occasionally need random enemy drops to access certain areas. There's even one point where you actually do need to be at a certain level to move forward, as you can't get past a certain type of obstacle until your attack is high enough. The game does not have any kind of save feature, but you can receive passwords at the ends. The passwords will save your current level and money, but aside from a small handful of items which are absolutely required to finish the game, it will not save any of your other items. So you'll need to recollect any keys, healing items, or new swords you might have collected last time. Now, although this game was never released outside of Japan, many of you may be familiar with the Valkyrie character through games like Project Cross Zone or cameo appearances she's made in the Tales of and Soul Calibur series. This game was actually very popular in Japan, and the game's strong following has made her sort of a mascot for Namco over there. It might seem derivative, but adds enough new ideas to the table to be worth a look. If you're a fan of the original Zelda, and want to check out something with a new twist on that formula, check out The Adventure of Valkyrie. It really captures that same sense of exploration and discovery that Zelda does. You just have to have the patience to deal with grinding, and if you don't mind a game that's a little rough around the edges, this is a game for you. That said, you might also want to look up a walkthrough, or you're going to be seeing a lot of this.